Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. I will not be soliciting you for anything. Do not be scammed by this person. Okay, with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Gemini, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. And spirit guides, angels. Oh, goodness. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. Now let's look at your chakra energy for this time. Gemini, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. So we're starting here with meditation, the crown chakra, and we're going to get into this all more in depth in just a moment. Then we have forgiveness, the heart chakra, which is one of my favorite cards. And then we have the I am presence, which is my favorite card. So this is a really beautiful chakra energy. And this is, of course, the crown chakra once again. Now, the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we start off with the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Then you have the Empress coming in, which is absolutely gorgeous. The Six of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups. So you're definitely taking this gift and it's really affecting your heart. Your heart is going to be really affected during this time. Then we have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Oh, that's brilliant. We have the Sun card crowning you in the public arena, which is wonderful. Also means that people will get jealous of you rather easily. Do not let them take you by eyes. They're going to want to knock you down. They're going to want to take the beauty that is such a part of you during this time and say, no, this is mine. It's like, no, this is mine. And this is how I'm moving forward. You then have Temperance. You have the King of Swords, so you're coming through as a king. Temperance is, of course, Sagittarius energy, time frame November 22nd to December 21st. And then we have the Emperor. You have the Emperor and the Empress. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you during this time, and that is brilliant. Whenever I have the King and the Queen, so the Emperor and, of course, the Empress are the King and the Queen of the major arcana in a reading from the same suit, in a deck, from the same deck, in a reading. This is true love connection. This is powerful awakening. This is, a stepping into power that is amazing. It can also be meeting somebody, having your world open up in a way that you're not anticipating. It's kind of like, oh my goodness, I didn't think I could move forward like this, and yet you can. So that's really quite beautiful. Okay, so let's look at the energy you have to be mindful of. Now, this can be people. This can be just the energy in general. When this comes out in people, this is going to be kind of something that really rubs you the wrong way. You could say it triggers you. It just kind of, it goes against what you want during this time. Okay, so let's look here. What is the energy that Gemini needs to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. What is the energy that Gemini needs to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. Angels. 4. Okay, interesting. So it's going to be complex. There's a few that are, since there are 5 cards that come up, which is rather a lot. So let's see here. It's the moon, Pisces energy. February 19th to March 20th is the time frame. All right, so this is the time frame of this reading, right? We have from the 1st of March to the 15th of March. So you're going to be facing a lot of fears during this time. And it's so interesting because when I was doing the singing bowl, right, when the singing bowl was singing, I just got like negative comments coming into my head. It's like, that's what you're going to be facing during this time. It's like the negative words coming into your head and making you doubt the way that you're moving forward, making you doubt, what you're moving for. And this is a time where you face doubts and fears and nightmares and despairs and angers and upsets, not in a way that it's like, oh my gosh, it's going to destroy me, but in a way where you're sitting there and it's like, you don't get to rule me anymore. I get to rule me. I get to move forward. And you face these fears with the conscious self and with the subconscious self coming forward. But this is a person who during this time is going to play off of your fears, going to play off of your insecurities and really manipulate you in that way. They're going to be rather surprised because you're not putting up with their bull anymore. You're really not. You're sitting there and saying, oh no, but I see more. I know more. And then it brings you to the Prince of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is being caught up in the passion of something. And for you during this time here, Gemini, as much as you love, being caught up in things and passion and beauty and just all that stuff is like mother's milk, right? But this is going to be a sense of looking at it and being like, I can't get caught up in that drama. I can't get caught up in that. I can't, that's what you're going to feel like with this energy. It's like, if I get swept away, it'll sweep me away completely. It'll either be, it's so heartbreaking, I can't bear it. Or with a lot of people, it's going to be, what are you talking about? Like, why is this coming at me? Why are you trying to sweep me away in this very certain way? I hope that makes sense. And then you have the strength card, Leo energy. This is strength through brute force. It's like you will listen to what I say. And that's what they're trying to sweep you into right here. It's like you will listen to me. You will do as I say. And it makes you kind of feel like you're being treated like a child, like a petulant little child that's told to sit in the corner until you can behave. And you're sitting there and you're like, no, no, I get to express my truth. I get to move forward in my life my way. And there is a sense here of really looking at this bullying strength and saying, this isn't real strength at all. And so just be careful. Just be careful during this time. Because you have here, you have the death card. So this is people being very secretive. They're only letting you see half of the truths or just a little bit of things, and you're like, why? You're going to be aware of it, Gemini. You're not a fool at all. So just be mindful of that. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So you have a really beautiful Queen of Cups coming forward. You have gifts and blessings coming. But this is emotional manipulation, which is what we started with. And this is a sense of, they want to drink, this energy wants to drink deeply of their cups, of their prosperity, of their mind forward. But they don't want the same for you. So just be very mindful during this time of people, assessing your weaknesses, especially. It's like a group. So it's not just one person, but it's like a group of things, like assessing your weaknesses, assessing what it is that they can get from you. It can even be work, where they're just trying to almost bleed a stone. And you're sitting there and you're like, why? Why are you doing this? What is going on here? And it moves you to meditation. It moves you to your crown chakra, because Gemini, that's where a lot of your power lies. It lies within the mind. It lies within being able to contemplate and think and, explore and gain a greater understanding. So with the meditation, it's connecting with your heart, your mind connecting with your heart, which we can see within your heart line right here, is that you connecting with your heart and healing within your heart is going to be so absolutely important. There's going to be a sense of power that comes forward. There's going to be a sense of truth that opens up your eyes. And just by sitting in meditation, or it can be, if you don't like sitting, it can be walking, doing walking meditation, or, doing a repetitive task where you just let your mind flow into nothingness, kind of like washing the dishes or, doing something like that. And you're going to find that it moves you forward in a very powerful way. So here, even if you just practice breathing through your nose, it's one of my new favorite things to do. Just breathe through your nose, close your mouth, breathe through your nose. For some reason, that way of breathing, it settles the mind when you don't get that same settling feeling when you breathe through your mouth. It settles you, it brings you forward. It's powerful. So here, when you sit in meditation, when you are in meditation, it is a sense of power and understanding and truth that is coming forward. You're connecting with your thoughts, but you're also clearing out the clutter, clearing out the chaos of the mind and saying, no, you don't get to rule me. I get to see my path. And that's going to be the opposition that you get during this time. It's like, I get to see my path. But then you're hit with like different things that want you to go this way or that way, or agree with them, or, look at it like this. And it's kind of like, why is it so important to you what I'm doing at this time? So here, there's just such a sense of strength and determination and focus and brilliance and coming together. Forgiveness is going to be important for you. The heart chakra, connecting with your heart chakra, is what this time is all about. And you're going to see things come up that make you feel like, oh, I didn't do enough, or, oh, I didn't get it right. And you're going to need to forgive yourself. Forgiving other people is very noble, right? It's a good thing to do. But when we forgive other people, a lot of times they don't even care. They don't even remember that they hurt us. So you forgive them, in your head or in your own space, and that's great. But to forgive you, that's so much harder. To forgive you for falling in love with the wrong person, to forgive you for, disabilities or, hurts, pains, disappointments that you lived through, mistakes that you have made, addictions that you have had, sitting there and saying, I forgive me. That's where the importance comes from. That's where life gets changed. I forgive me. I am not this pain, this hurt, this disappointment, this anger, this upset. I'm not my temper. I am not, any of this. I am me. So here, there is a sense of embracing this forgiveness and moving forward in it. It's very powerful for your heart. It's very powerful for you to stand in your truth, because that's why this manipulation that's being done here, this energy that you have to be mindful of, that's why they're not winning, because there's a sense of, I already see what you're throwing at me. Like, I've already walked down that road, and nobody can be harsher on ourselves than we can. Nobody knows our weaknesses better than us. So here, it's like, I'm good. I'm stronger than you imagined. And that's what's going to take people by surprise during this time, Gemini. And the I am presence. The I am presence is one of my favorites because it's with the crown chakra, and it's saying, what do you think of? Like, how do you talk to yourself? What do you think of? How do you connect with your heart, your soul, yourself? I am strong and powerful. I am living my truth. I am embracing my responsibilities. I am moving forward in passion and understanding, and I am achieving so much more than I could ever have imagined. Or is it, I'm stupid? I've failed again. Oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so tired. I can barely keep on going. What do we say to ourselves? Do we beat ourselves up when we do something wrong? Or do we sit there and say, okay, learned a way not to do it again? Do we let our temper get the best of us? I mean, Lord knows I do that sometimes. It's just like frustration comes out and it boils over like a tea kettle. But there is a sense here of embracing our truths. And we see this within having to embrace the dark and the light of us, the night and the day, the shadowed self that Jung talks about, and the self that we show to everybody, that we want to be, that we aspire to be. And so with the I am presence, people say, why do you say the negative? Well, I say the negative because when I'm listening to people talk and they're saying all these positive, wonderful things, I'm like, yeah, that's totally me. But if they start to say the negative, I'm like, oh, I think that sometimes. And oh, my mind goes there. And I realize that there's still work to be done. So we don't state the negative and we only state the positive. How do we know what resonates with our hearts and what doesn't? Where we need to work on, where we need to build ourselves up. So with the I am presence, it is knowing that I am enough to be present within my life, to be powerful within my existence, to move forward in my strength and in my worth. Because it brings you to the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is fire and determination and rolling up your sleeves and saying, the job needs to get done, I'm doing it. And that's what you're embracing here. The job needs to get done, and I'm doing it. I'm moving forward. I have this passion within me. I have this new way of looking at things. And it's a sense of stepping into yourself in a way that we're afraid to step into ourselves. In a way that we're afraid because what if people judge us? What if people don't understand? What if they don't? If you understand you and you like you, then that's the first part of the battle. That's the main part of the battle. So with the Queen of Wands, there's a passion here. There's the reason you get out of bed in the morning. There's a determination. And it can be having to rekindle that reason why you get out of bed in the morning. Because life, especially now with everything that's going on, it could be like days just blend into each other. And things are overwhelming and we want to do so much more than we can. So here, there is this sense of refinding our purpose, of refinding and rekindling our passion, our determination. And it brings us to the Empress. It brings us to claiming a throne we never thought we lost. Because there is just a certain way of looking at the world. There is a certain way of looking at our power, of looking at our understanding. There we go, of our truth. And we don't think that the softer, gentler side of things is important. Because we're not told that wins anything. Now, it's not saying that the sacred masculine isn't as important as the sacred feminine. It absolutely is. Okay? You have this very beautiful lean towards the emperor energy, towards claiming your throne and knowing what it is that you want and being so terribly focused and determined here, Gemini, that you're stepping into this power. But it's also sitting there and saying, well, why can't this be powerful? Why can't what I nurture within myself be powerful? The Earth Mother. We always think of the Earth Mother as this caring, loving, nurturing being that sustains us and moves us forward and just absolutely cherishes us. But this is also blizzards and hurricanes and tornadoes and, killer bees and everything like that. That is part of Mother Nature. So when we're looking at our power and our nature, it's looking at, again, the shadowed side of us, the self that we don't want people to see, but the self that lets us know that, yes, a monster lives inside of each human being, which might not be a popular thing to say, but it is a truthful thing to say. And with that power, with that force, with that truth, comes the ability to say, but I'm not letting that beast out. I'm owning every aspect of me. So instead of walking around like wide-eyed and innocent, we walk around with knowledge and understanding, and there's a gravity to our presence. And that's what the Empress brings. The Empress brings this gravity of presence, brings this powerful truth, this voice that has been ignored too long, coming forward. Because all our strengths are not in the forceful, in the mighty, in the, kind of flexing the muscles sort of way. It might be that your greatest strength is your kindness. It might be that your greatest strength is your nurturing ability, your artistic ability. So being able to bring that forward, being able to sit there and see the throne that part of your personality thrives on is going to be so important. It brings power into your voice, and it brings power into you, and it moves you to the Six of Cups. It moves you to looking at negativity that was spoken over you, hurts, pains, disappointments, doubts, despairs that you grew up with. It can be a hurtful word from somebody on the playground when you were little. It could be, your first love just falling apart, not being what you thought it would be. And here, it's also the negative words of our caregivers, the people who raised us, the people who are supposed to take care of us, the people who are supposed to care, who didn't. And those words sit in us. They almost become like curses, spoken over us like prayers. And here, what we're looking at is with this power coming forward and with this might being seen. It's like we are not our past. Our past has helped shape us, absolutely, but we are not defined by it. And our past does not get to be the predecessor to our present. And as we move forward, we become students in our inner selves, of our heart, of what we desire, of what we love, of how we need to move in our lives. It's like, oh, I didn't see it that way. And oh, I didn't know I could do this. Because we are embracing this sense of not only being the ruler of ourselves, but also being the student of ourselves. I firmly believe that we don't know anything. And as we grow, what we find out is not who we are right away. We find out who we're not. And so by finding out who we're not, by finding out, that we can be easily swayed by people, and we might not like that, and we, try on this voice and try on that voice and find out where we stand, it brings us to a place where we start to see who we are. And as we become a student of our hearts, as we look at things much more openly and honestly, sitting there and saying, well, how does this make me feel? What do I want? How do I want to move forward? Do I want where I am now to be where I am in 5 years? These are big questions. And as we ask them, we find tremendously powerful answers bringing us forward. And as we are the student of this, we start to see that our hearts pull up. It's like stirring a pot of chicken soup, right? All the vegetables, everything starts to come to the surface. Well, it's also like when you leave a bucket outside and the leaves fall in it and it gets really gross and you stir it up. It's not as nice as the chicken soup, right? So that's what happens with the Ace of Cups. So we stir up everything, and some of it is like the chicken soup. Some of it comes up and we're like, oh, I didn't remember this, and oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. But others, it's like turning over the bucket. It's like, it smells, it's not nice, I don't like it, but it's within us. It's that sludgy uckiness that's within us. And so here, we're looking at those waters coming up because we're looking at the pond. When you have a pond with a fountain in it, that's the word, it stays pretty clear. It doesn't get the algae buildup that it will if it doesn't. So here, just think of this as like the waters being poured in, the algae being swept away. You're going to see things more clearly, more honestly, but it's also going to be kind of like an emotional detox. And a lot of negativities, a lot of fears, a lot of doubts can be coming up during this time, especially since you do have this energy around you that's going to want to emotionally manipulate you, emotionally move you forward in one way or another, and for its own gain. And so here you're sitting there and it's like, but this is my power. This is my truth. This is who I am. It washes up and it brings up so much that has left us stagnant. So many reasons why we doubt ourselves and fear our way forward. And now it starts to wash away. And as it washes away, we embrace so much more than what we realized we could ever be. And it brings us then expect tears. Like, it brings us then to a place where we become more aware, and you might find that you're a little bit more sensitive when you're getting ready in the morning. You might find that just the release of tears, like while you're in the shower getting ready, is just cathartic for you, because you're looking at everything that has held you back, and it's like, but that's not my truth anymore. And the forgiveness that comes forward, that empowers the heart during this time, we see it within your chakras, we see it here, is such an astounding strength that gets added into your life. And it brings you to the Eight of Swords. It brings you to this place where you look at how you felt trapped for so long, how it almost felt hopeless. It's like, but I'll never be able to outwit this. I'll never be able to outdo this. I'll never be able to move from this spot. I've messed up too much. It's been too hard. It's been too overwhelming. And it's like, okay, fair. But to give up on you, that's not right. That's not what we need at this time. The Eight of Swords is where we can live our whole entire lives trapped in the hurts and the pains of the past, because the past is a pain bubble. It is a world that keeps us small and stuck and keeps us from growing. The future, well, that is completely unknown. To live in the future, to live for only the future, that's delusion, because we don't know how it's going to play out. To be in the present, that's scary. And most people cannot do that. To be in the here and the now, and to say, this is where I stand. This is what I stand for. This is who I am. That becomes the extraordinary. And that becomes what topples down the cage. Because nobody wants to stand in a cage their whole entire lives. The Eight of Swords is showing us the cage that our mind makes. The hurts and the pains that we think we can't move from. And what we don't realize is that the bars are open wide enough that we can walk through them. Do not let your mind, do not let your hurt, do not let your past mistakes define you. It brings you to the Nine of Cups. Once you see this, I love that 8 going into the 9, that progression. It brings you to this place of healing and understanding. It brings you to a place of wishes being granted, because you've overcome so much. You've fought so hard, right? And it brings you to this place of beauty and radiance. People will be able to see your blessings much more easily than you yourself will. Is that fair? Maybe yes, maybe no. But it is going to be the truth for this time. What you're going to see is that as you step out of your comfort zone, as you step out of your fear, as you kind of have the walls come tumbling down around you that have been built around you, you see yourself embracing a greater truth, a greater power, a greater idea than you ever had before. And it opens up your eyes, but more importantly, it opens up your world. As wishes come forward, as beauty comes forward, as new ideas become a part of you. And it brings you to the Queen of Cups. It brings you to holding this gift as an offering of self and soul. It brings you to being protected by the Leviathan, there we go, of the sea, by the serpents of understanding and fate and desire and power. And what you're going to see here is that there is so much more to drink of. There is so much more that comes forward than what you had originally realized. This is a time of immense and powerful healing. This is a time where the walls, the coping mechanisms that we've put around ourselves, they start to fall away. Not fall away, but we start to see them for the imposters, the hurtfulness that they are. And we say, no more. No more am I defined by what I couldn't do. Now I'm defined by what I can do. No more do I live in the hurts and the pains of failures, but in the power and in the beauty of success and determination. And it brings us to the sun. People will remark during this time, all right, Gemini, that there's this power here, that there's this radiance to you. Some will take you by eyes. They don't like it. They want you to stay downtrodden and small and quiet. But as you embrace your ferocity, your truth, your beauty, your essence, you rise. You rise in a way that you hadn't thought you would. This is the happiest card in the whole entire tarot. And you radiate with it. You radiate with this happiness. You radiate with this truth. You radiate with this love. And it brings you into balance. It brings you to taking your questions and taking your desires and finding a truth, finding a harmony. You have here the silver cup and the gold cup supporting night into day, the subconscious and the conscious self coming together. The two heads, the feminine and the masculine, which we have here showing up quite prominently, being your guides, questioning, answering, deciphering, deciding as you move forward. There's a sense of you diving deeper into what it is that you want. You're looking for balance. You're looking for harmony. Now, does this mean that you could kind of reconstruct your whole entire existence? Yes. You might start looking at things and saying, what do I really want? What's truly important to me? How do I want to move forward in my life? What is it that I desire? And that starts to become your building blocks, your cornerstones. And you dive deeper into your truth. You dive deeper into what makes your heart sing, what guides you forward, what it is that defines and redefines you. And it brings you to you, coming through as the King of Swords. And I love the King of Swords. He is the warrior king, right? Just like the Queen of Swords is the warrior queen. Air sign energies are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. Gemini, you are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. Your ability is the ability of thought, is the ability of expression, is the ability of mind. It takes skill to hone that. Swords are the only weapon that is used within the minor arcana. You can argue that yes, wands can be a weapon. They can also be a walking stick. They can also be a tree. They could be more things than just purely a weapon. But the sword, even if it's used for ornamentation, has the knowledge and has the history behind it of being simply a weapon. And the thing with the swords is that people who weren't noble, okay, back in ancient times, in medieval times and before, they weren't allowed to have them. Swords took money and they took power. Swords were how noble families were made. You were given a sword and it changed your whole entire world. That's what being an air sign energy, a person who is represented by the swords, means. You take your knowledge, you hone your knowledge, you understand your skills, it changes your whole entire world. You are a seeker, you are an inspirer, you are a person who cuts through the doubts, the fears, the muck, and the mire to stand in your truth. The thing with the griffin is, in one of the myths of a griffin, is that nobody can tell a lie in front of them. You become very good at reading people, at reading, events. Lies start to fall away around you because you stand in truth. You want authenticity more than almost anything else. You also want adventure and challenge and something new. That's very important to you, Gemini. To know your mind, to know what it is that you desire, to move forward in that truth, to be that king, to be that, person who doesn't stand for bullshit. That's amazing. And that's where your power comes from during this time. As you open up your world, as wishes come, and as you look at the past and say, you don't get to be that ruling force. You just don't. I embrace my knowledge. I embrace my ideas. I embrace my ideals. And I open up the door. There's a fierceness to you, and people see it. There's also a sense of being a little bit more kind of outcome-minded. So you might get very swept up in the emotions of things. You have to look at, what do you need the outcome to be? How do you need yourself to be moving forward in your life? It brings you to the Emperor. It brings you to claiming a throne, to having your power, to sitting there and knowing your truth. This is where I stand, and this is what I stand for. I get to rule my life. It's not being perfect. It's not doing everything correct. But it's knowing that nobody else gets to rule over you, gets to dictate the way that you exist. And so the Emperor here, you start with the Queen of Wands. You start with rolling up your sleeves, embracing your passion, rekindling that passion. And then you end with that determination coming forward, with you saying, I get to rule my life. Nobody else does. There's the sacred masculine energy around you during this time with the King of Swords and the Emperor. The sense of, this is my power, this is my understanding, this is my truth, this is how I move forward. And you know all your flaws, right? You can call yourself out better than anybody else, but nobody gets to dictate the course of your life for you. And that's very important during this time. Now let's look and let's go deeper and see what the tarot has to say. How will Gemini, not how will Gemini, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. So we have here the Knight of Wands. I love that over the Queen of Wands. Knights defend queens, so that's beautiful. You have the Devil card, Capricorn energy, time frame December 21st to January 19th. You have the Strength card coming through, once again, Leo energy, July 23rd to August 22nd. You then have Justice, which is Libra energy, September 23rd to October 22nd. They say the same time frame for Leo. Leo is July 23rd to August 22nd. September 23rd to October 22nd is Libra. Okay, I don't know if I'm repeating myself or not. I can't always remember. The 10 of Swords right here. The 9 of Cups coming through once again. The 9 of Coins in the public arena. The 8 of Cups. Oh, interesting. And the Page of Wands. So you start with the wands, you end with the wands. Just as in the main part of the reading, you started with fire, you ended with fire. And so this is a time of great passion for you. It's a time where you're really sorting things out and knowing where you stand and what you are standing for. You know, you can always change your mind, of course, that's everybody's right, but there's a great sense of truth around you during this time. The Knight of Wands is passion and determination, and you have it defending the Queen and defending even the Empress, where you're sitting there and you're claiming a throne and you're rolling up your sleeves, you're going after what it is that you desire, you're embracing your passion, you're embracing what it is that you want, and you're defending that right within you. And you do come up against opposition with it, with the Knight of Wands as the energy to be mindful of. So your passion comes up against somebody else's passion, somebody else's desires for the way that you should move forward. And this is very much defending the majesty of self, defending the royalty of ideas and ideals as you open up the door, as you move forward. And you're looking at chaos here. Now, this can very well be the chaos from the past. The devil is, it's kind of like Spirit just said, the devil's in the details. You're going to find that as you're moving forward, it's going to be, the devil is going to be in the quiet little voices, in the kind of chipping away at the self-confidence. This is the chains, being wrapped around you and saying, no, you can't move the way that you want to, and not realizing that those chains can fall off. These are addictions. These are our fears. These are doubts. This is, how do I get to be where it is that I want to be? This is what society tells us we are to do, and this is what we also fight against, to say, well, can I be the me that I want to be? If you've stumbled across this channel, if you've become part of this family, you're not like everybody else. There's something more that you are seeking for. There's something more out there that gets to be a part of your life. And so here, with the devil, it's like you're freeing yourself from an enticing nightmare. And that's really what you're doing. And it brings you to strength. It brings you to finding that the littlest part of you, the part of you that you thought might be the weakest, winds up being the strongest. There's strength here, there's determination, there's focus, there's fire. And it's not brute force strength that is admired. And that is going to be what moves you forward and gives you new ideas. It is the strength of character. It is the strength that you see. I mean, I'm just seeing my great grandma come up. She was 98 when she passed, and one of the strongest, toughest women you would ever meet, and also one of the kindest, most compassionate. And so that's the type of strength that I'm seeing here. It's the type of strength where if you looked at somebody, you'd laugh, be like, oh, they're strong, and yet you don't even know the half of it. And so that's the strength that's being embodied. That's also the strength that's working around you, protecting you, guiding you. Justice is going to be very key during this time as you take in your healing, as you move away from the cage that has entrapped you before. Being just, not being judged, that's very different. And that's what you're fighting against here. Not to be judged by everybody else, not to have them lay out your truth and what you desire and where it is that you need to be and how it is that you should be going forward, but to have justice be a part of you. Be very discerning about the energy you let into your life, the people that you let into your life, the foods that you eat, the way that you take care of yourself. You're sitting there and you're saying, I get to be just to me. I get to embrace this power. I get to embrace my understanding. I get to open up the doors. And that becomes a game changer, because instead of being passive within this existence, this is a time where you are very active, where you are very, I don't want to say aggressive, but you're very much standing in your truth, embracing your voice. And this brings you to the Ten of Swords, of looking at every single year for a decade, the sword put in your back, the hardships, the pains, the disappointments, the upsets, the despairs. And the Ten of Swords is like us looking at it and saying, well, what was this all for? What was it that I needed? Like, where was it that I needed to be? And the Ten of Swords shows us the pain, shows us the hurts, but shows us the new dawn coming, shows us the new way forward, shows us looking at things in a way that we hadn't imagined, we didn't think could be. And that brings us forward in a way that's so different, that brings our wishes, that has us saying, yes, a part of me has died away. A part of me is gone. Well, maybe not gone, that's a bit dramatic of a word, but I can't ever be who I once was. I can only be who I am now. And that brings you to the Nine of Cups. That brings you to, once again, having the wishes granted as you embrace the cup, as you embrace the Queen of Cups, the cups that you cherish, what you drink out of, that brings you wisdom and inspiration, this sense of connection. And the Nine of Cups is sitting there and saying there's something greater within your heart, because you have it twice now within your heart line. There's something greater within your heart that you're not seeing, but others see it within you. There's something greater within your passion, within your determination, that you might poo-poo. You might think, oh, that's totally normal for me. But it's going to be so much more for others to gaze upon. Okay? It's going to be a very beautiful and intense change. And it brings you to the Nine of Coins. And this is the repeat of the number 9. Okay, so you have this sense of a completion of a cycle coming, and I'm just looking at this. I think it's so interesting. It's a cat, and it is a bird sitting there listening to her sing. But you also have her love there on the wall. You have this sense of prosperity and bounty and beauty being a part of your life. The sense of getting to revel in something beautiful. And that's what you're doing as the sun shines on you, as wishes are granted and joys come forward. And that's what's happening as you're finding this balance. It's like, I get to take this beauty, I get to take what I've worked so hard for and enjoy it. Yes, there's a hard road to come, and yes, there is more to come. But right now, I get to revel in this. And it moves you then to the Eight of Cups. It moves you to walking away from what you once thought you would love, as you are the king of your mind and your understanding, as you embrace yourself as the King of Swords. It's like, I'm not going to stay in a toxic place. I'm not going to stay in a mindset, in a relationship, in anything that diminishes me. I once loved it, but now I get to move forward from it. And it's not bad. It's part of my truth. And so often, we're not willing to give up on things. I remember when I was in college, I should have dropped the class. And I know it's so trite to say this, but the teacher said, it's going to be a hard class. it's going to be a lot of work. Drop it if you can't handle it. And of course, I saw it as a personal challenge, and I was like, I'm not going to drop this class, and I should have. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. It drained my energy in a way I didn't need at that time. And it's so trivial, but yet it taught me such a big lesson. When somebody tells you something is going to be hard, it's not saying, oh, you can't do it, you're a wimp. It's saying, do you want to do it? Is this a battle you want to have? Or is it something that you can walk away from and still be perfectly happy with yourself because of it? In relationships, it's harder. In work, it's harder. But sitting there and saying, there gets to be more. And it can't be walking away from the negative mindset. It can be walking away from the negative people, not sitting there and talking to everybody who's kind of like Eeyore and just brings you down. You're looking at it. It's like, no, I need more. I need to move forward in a way that is right for my soul, that brings joy and light into situations. And it brings us then to the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is being a student of our passion, of our way forward, of what it is that we want and where it is that we want to be, of how it is that we want to express ourselves and see ourselves and open up the doors and, move forward. So the Page of Wands is this sense of greater understanding, is a sense of, as we embrace the Emperor, as we embrace being the ruler of our truth and our passion, being the student is also always there. Because to be a great ruler, you also have to be a great learner, a great thinker, a great, communicator. And that's what you're seeing here. You're having yourself be the Emperor, which is a fire sign energy, right? Aries. Aries is the god of war. Aries is this force and this determination. And you also have yourself being the student of where you want to be and how you want to move forward and what it is that you desire within your life. Your spirit animal message. Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. No, I thought one was going the wrong way. I was like, ooh. So we have the Squirrel Spirit, which is one of my favorites. It says, believe in yourself, which sounds so easy. Sounds so easy. Just believe in yourself. You can do it. If you don't believe in you, who will? Who does? But to believe in yourself takes an amount of courage, takes an amount of strength that is hard, especially when the world has beaten you down, especially when you have 1.5 million different reasons why you have failed and why you should keep on failing. It's like, no, believe in yourself, believe in the greatness, believe in the seeds that you are planting and the bounty that is moving forward. It brings us then to the Owl Spirit. You see clearly now. You see clearly who it is that you are. You see clearly where it is that you want to be. You move forward in this clarity, in this understanding. And it brings you to the Bobcat Spirit. It says life is a mystery. And it is. We're not supposed to know everything. That's why we have twists and turns along the way that nobody can foresee. Life is a mystery. Let it be a mystery. Take the wisdom as it comes. Take the healing as it comes. But be ready for the adventure. Because Gemini, that's where you thrive, first of all. And it's a beautiful truth to be a part of. It moves us to our subconscious self. And our subconscious spirit animal is the ant spirit. Time to collaborate. Time to come together. Time to work as a group and see things as more. To work with our angels and our spirit guides. It brings us then to our subconscious person message, which is the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Very, very focused, very determined, all right, seeing the interconnectedness of things. This is also going to be a grounding. It's going to be a sense of, kind of wanting to fly free, right? Because that is an air sign, a Gemini urge, most definitely. But also having that tree, having that solid foundation to go back to nest in, to say, this is what's important to me. This is what I desire. This is what I'm seeking. It brings us then to the subconscious chakra message, which is the inner child. And the inner child with the heart chakra is us opening ourselves up to that inner child, to opening up our arms and letting that inner child run into our open arms, to be held close to us and to say, I love you. I love my past. I love my present. And I love my future. I love who it is that I am and what it is that I'm becoming. And with that love for that inner child, a world opens up, safety opens up, an experience opens up that lets you know that you are safe within yourself in a way that you might not have felt safe before, might not have felt powerful before. It brings you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Knight of Wands. Fire sign energy, very big for you. If you have fire sign energy within your natal chart, it's coming out loud and proud during this time, right? Especially Aries and Sagittarius, but any fire sign, which, oh, and Leo, you have that too. So all the fire signs have been represented here, and they are playing a very pivotal role. This is you being a defender of the way that you want to move forward. This is you looking at the greater picture of what it is that you want. You have that fire sign energy right here of the Queen, and you have the Knight right here defending that Queen, and you have the Knight coming through again and saying, this is who I am. This is what I want for my life. This is where I need to be. This is focus and determination and power and self, all coming together in a ferocity of mind and an expanse of understanding. It's like, this is where I'm moving towards. Like, this is what I want from my life. There is also a sense of being a warrior, of how you're looking at the bigger picture, of what it is that you desire. You know, how is it that you're moving forward? And this is your warrior time. This is your time to sit there and say, this is what I want. This is what I'm defending. This is what I'm going after. And it brings you then to go deeper into your subconscious. And you have the Knight of Coins, the defender of your prosperity, slowly and steadily building that which is abundant to you. And sitting there and saying, I deserve this. I defend it, and I am a part of it. And this is wealth coming forward. This is bounty coming forward. This is an understanding of you coming forward in a way that is quite abundant, but also quite fierce. Because you don't want to build a foundation on sand anymore. You want the solid, the firm, and the strong. And it takes time. But what you build now has long-lasting reach. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we step into our fire, our strength, and our purpose, as we look at things with more succinctness, with more understanding, as our greatness rises. And nobody can take that away from us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini.